You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. Old Capmeister here. Tired. Old Cap may just go sit out in the backyard. I was gonna go golf and drive and hike, and I think I may just sit in the backyard, smoke a cigar, and do nothing for a change. That's the problem. I'll tell you this: when you kids get to be my age, when you kids get to be as awesome as me, the problem will be like, yeah, I could go make a lot of money, or I could go party hard. And then there's like this third option you never think of, like, yeah, I'm gonna sit and do fuck all shit, nothing. Just gonna sit here and play video games. There's a Xbox One with Red Dead Redemption 2 there, but then there's a nice patio out there. And the sun came out in Tucson. I could just have a cigar and do nothing. A lot to be said for doing nothing. Whole lot to be said for doing nothing. I think that's good. I had a day of nothing yesterday. I did absolutely nothing yesterday. But I think I need another day of nothing. Then when I wake up, I'm like, oh God, I should be doing something. I don't want to die. That's not the problem of our client. Our client has a completely different problem. I'm just being a cunt and whining about things in my personal life. An anonymous person writes, he didn't say he wanted to be anonymous, but I'm going to keep him anonymous. Oh, he says he wants to be anonymous. All right. Captain Asshole, when will you be promoted to Major Asshole? Good one. No time soon. Please keep me anonymous. I'm a returning customer. Please quote me for a video. I recently started using various dating apps and things are starting off well. However, I'm not experienced at juggling multiple girls. There are currently 7 to 8 girls that I either have dates scheduled with or will soon. Here are my questions. Oh my God, 7 to 8. Oh Jesus. How good looking are you? That's a pain in the ass. 1. Is there a maximum or recommended max number of women that a guy can effectively date or pursue going out with simultaneously? I'll tell you, my max was 4. I'm talking empirically. It's possible. I'm sure you could get. I'm sure somebody could date 10 women at the same time. And there's a firestorm effect where the fire's so hot it sucks more air in, which only makes it hotter. It feeds upon itself, where you get this positive spiral where, like, I don't have time for you. You know, I got something else going on, and your scarcity makes more women want to date you more. So and every guy will tell you this. Every guy, there's been times where, dude, I was on fire, where I was like, oh, dude, I was banging like 4 girls at one time, and not at the exact same time. Would have been awesome, but you're just on fire, man. And I think there's, not only does it make you a happier and funnier person, but I think scarcity and the law of supply, where you limit your supply, you're not desperate, that played heavily into it as well. But there is a mathematical limit to the number of girls a guy can date at any one time. If you were supremely wealthy, I would split day dates, night dates. I wasn't supremely wealthy. This is more when I was on fire. You could do day date, night dates. So in theory, you could do 14 girls in a week. Not sexually, I mean, but you could date 14 girls in a week, where you got day date, night date, day date, night. But that's assuming you're independently wealthy and you don't have to work. I had to work, so I remember, and there were 2 instances where I had 4 dates on the weekends, 4 dates in 2 days. And it was taxing, and it was not enjoyable, and it was a royal pain in the ass. I mean, it was fun. I thought I was, top of the world, which I was. I was pretty back. It's kind of proof that you got like some sexual value. Like, man, look at me. I got 4 girls. What the fuck? But I do know that, I'm busy. I got to end the date quick. I do remember in particular one girl, we went out for coffee and we were walking around downtown St. Paul. And I'm looking at my watch because I had a date that night. When I get going. Where are you going? I gotta work. Oh, what are you working on? Why are you giving us some food? This is a nice girl who's gonna bring me food. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. We get food for free, which I was lying my ass off. I would say for us normal mortals, us mere mortal men, If you got a job, I think 4. 4 is kind of a limit, and it's a pain in the ass. If you had unlimited wealth, blah blah blah, and you can always like post them down. Maybe in 2 weeks, I'm out of town. You could juggle 10 plates. You could spin 10 plates in the air. 4 is about the max, and I would also align it to orgies. 4 is the absolute max number of people that can be in an orgy, because then you're like, well, who the fuck do I have to mail them what I want to do? I mean, 4 becomes almost that's redlining it. 3 is much more comfortable. 2 is great because then you cycle them out. Then those 2 go away. You get another 2. 4, I would say, is the maximum. So your personal situation aside, as a general rule of policy, and you got 7 to 8. Oh my God, because I'm old. I know as a younger man, you probably you're like in a candy store. I'm like, because I'm older and fucking wiser. Currently 7 to 8 girls I've dated. What is the maximum number of women I can date effectively? I think it's going to be 4. Now, here's the good news. Let's talk about flake rates. That's why I asked you about the flake rate. In my day, you could easily expect half the women to flake. That's why I came up with the 50-50-25 rule. 50% no times 50% show equals 25% go. Meaning 50% of the women would say no, 50% of the women that said yes would actually show, so there's only a 25% chance you'd actually have a date. In reality, it was more of a 70-30 thing. 70% of the women would say yes, but only 30% would show up. So it was a 21% show rate. So I'm just going to, optimistically assume out of the 7 to 8, 3 are going to be gone. 3 aren't even going to show up. Unless you're a particularly good-looking dude, in which case they are, and that's a whole new problem you get to deal with. But I'm just going to assume the flake rate with your average American woman is going to be about 50%. The fact you got 7 to 8 indicates to me you're a better than average looking guy, so I'm going to assume your flake rate's not going to be that bad. So, but there's going to be some flakes, okay? So you got 4 as your limit. You're currently juggling 7 to 8. I'm going to say 3 are going to drop out, so that kind of puts you on parity with what you're capable of doing. Because then day date, night date, which technically isn't how it works, because assuming they have jobs, it's going to be Friday night date, Saturday date, Saturday night date, Sunday date. But then Sundays nights, when I was younger, girls, I got to work, I got to school, and so Sunday night is very bad. But I have had good success on Sunday nights. What tips do you have for managing and scheduling with multiple girls? I feel like I'm out with someone different almost every night. Well, you are out with someone different every night. That's why you're dating 7 to 8 girls. Dude, it's bad. I forgot a girl's name, and I called her the wrong name one time. It was bad. I even remember, because girls would flake out so much, I would schedule a work shift, and then I remember getting called once while working security, like, I forgot her name, Amy, Jessie, whatever. You got a call. I had a call. I thought we were going out tonight. I'm like, oh, like you showed up. Holy shit. It was that bad. And don't think the millennial girls are all that bad, or the Gen Z girls all that. The Gen X girls are just as flaky. So, you can rely a certain amount on, you can double book is what I'm saying, is a certain amount of women are going to flake out, and then you're going to have to do it. And canceling on a girl is one of the best things you can do. Then they're like, oh, what does he have? Oh my God, I want to So you can flake out on a girl, no problem. You could postpone and kick it down the road, kick the can down the road. It's only going to make you seem more attractive, which is sad, but that's how women operate. They operate by scarcity. Managing a schedule multiple girls. I feel like I'm out with a different girl every night. I've also already had a couple of girls ask about a second date, but the earliest I could do is 10 or so days later. Yes, this is harkening me back. Yes, you gotta kick it down the road, man. That's what you gotta do. And it's not the worst thing. Look, the ideal situation is you will have 5 girls that you see once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks, and you keep yourself that scarce. And then you're mysterious, and they're like, oh my God, who are you? Why don't you? And that just makes them want you more. But inevitably, it's like friends with benefits. That never lasts more than a month. Then they want something, or then they're like, well, I found another guy, you know. So I appreciate the firestorm you got going on now. But yeah, the best way is like amortize them over a long period. Just there's nothing wrong with delaying. Delay. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm sorry, I'm busy. And then that only makes you hotter in their minds. How would you interact with a girl leading up to the date given the time delay? Example, when they text or call, would you initiate contact with them in between? I don't know what you're asking here. 10 days later. Keep in mind there was no texting back in my day. Well, let's just go with the general principle. I'm sorry if I don't answer your specific question because I don't know what it is. With the multiple girls, it's day, night date. That's the best way. Is there's a day date and a night date, and usually the girl you want to bang the most, you secure for the night date, and then the girl who's your plan B be the day date. You could even arguably today switch that around because the hot girl, women are opposite world, man. They're a bizarro world. The girl I want to bang the most, I should treat the shittiest. It's like, oh, okay, we're day date, we get coffee, let's go. Where are you going? I gotta get going. Are you working? Yes, as far as you know, I'm working. And then some of those plan B girls, a little bit more fun. But you gotta do the day date, night date. And it's going to be honing on your weekends, I'm assuming, if you have a regular job or you're quasi-regular. So you are going to have to do that. 7 to 8, though, God, that's a pain in the ass. Because every guy, there's a shortage of women, but then there are these times where you have a surplus of women, and then all of a sudden you really start to appreciate your own time. With these girls, you have to spend enough time with them. You can't just like be on a 15-minute date. Hey, I gotta get going. You should give them at least 2 hours. But with 7 to 8, I think that's impossible. You'd have to fit evening days like we're having dinner, and then all of a sudden you're not enjoying yourself. You're not doing what you want to do. You're not hanging out with the guys, playing volleyball or playing poker or going for your motorcycle rides or whatever it is that you want to do. It becomes a job. And that's what it was after a while. And I was highly successful at dating. Not good at closing a deal. Very bad at closing the deal, actually. But I was highly successful at dating. And after a while, it became a chore. And then you get to the point where it's like, am I doing this because it's fun? Or is it doing because I'm trying to like prove something? Am I trying to get stats? Which is legitimate unto itself. I mean, I don't know other people who've dated over 300 women. I have. And a lot of people, you do need it. I'm like, no, look at the math. Look at the math. Any guy can date over 300 women. Certainly by my age now, and I retired 10 years ago. But what I fear is it's going to be time management. And so you do day, night date, but then at the same time, I would just say, I don't have time. I'm really busy. And that's the honest truth. You don't have to tell them why you're busy because you're banging Susie. And then you're banging Amy next. But there's nothing wrong with kicking them down the road. Because women are never kicked down the road. Like, nobody puts baby in the corner. And then if you kick them down the road, like, why am I being kicked down the road? He canceled. I remember one time, it was a perfect example. You tell me, I think I was 21 or 22. I had a date. Then security called and like, hey, we need an extra shift. I'm like, okay, I'll work it. And I called her up because I needed the money. I'm like, yeah, I can't make the date. Dude, she was banging me that next date. And canceling's not bad. Absolutely not bad. It's rarity. It's diamonds. I know you may want to meet these girls, but if you postpone and kick the women down the road like a can, they're going to want you more because every guy's throwing themselves at them. So you're like in this perfect Zen world right now where if you don't want to go out with a girl, you just cancel, not at the last minute. Don't be rude. Don't be impolite. Cancel a day before. Like, look, I need a day. Dude, you could totally say that. I need a day to myself. Why? You know, I'm busy with work. I just need a day to myself. And they're like, oh wow, he's so cool. He's okay being by himself. I'm not okay being by myself. That's why I'm a woman and I need to attack men and be buddy. Dude, if you just like, yeah, it's only going to help. So here's to be more concrete. I know I'm blathering, but trying to explain to you the theory and the underlying dynamics behind it. What I would do is pick your 3 main ones. Schedule them, okay, and schedule them for nights. Put your best game on. And then the other ones, put them on the day date, but then you got this reserve that you keep kicking down the road. We're like, yeah, I can't make it. And yes, it can be like the 6s and the 7s you're not terribly interested in, but if the schedule allows for it and you're going out with a 9, and all of a sudden like, oh, I got to work, and you can't go out the 9, kick the 9 down the road. See how quickly she comes back to suck your dick. You'd be amazed, the prettier they are, how responsive they are to rejection. I remember I was dating a psychotic 10. 9.5, she wasn't a 10, but 9.5. She was from California. And when I told her to F off, oh my God, nobody put, I mean, there was another gal, and a friend of mine who dated a girl. In all 3 instances, twice with me, the other guy that I know, the women we broke up with, we were the first guys to break up with them. They always dumped the guys. We dumped them. And then, oh my God, did they go psycho trying to get us back. Or just plain psycho. It's like that. Like, if you're the guy who, you're what? You're canceling a date with me? How dare you? I'll show you. I'll treat you nice and show up on time and suck your dick. That's what it is. So whatever works best for your schedule. So the day date, night date, you can organize them so the hotter ones are the ones you're most interested in. You have the quality time. But I wouldn't put too much emphasis and faith in, Friday night or Saturday night. Have like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You want to come hang out, get coffee? You want to come over and watch cartoons on Sunday? Dude, you want to go to church? Dude, church is a weird thing. Like, oh, okay, we can go to church. You know how much times I got sex after church? A lot. You'd be amazed. So that's what I would recommend is primary, secondary, slot them up. They're completely interchangeable, and experiment once or twice with the really hot girl. Yeah, I can't make it. It's got to be next week. And then they're going to wonder what you got going on, because every other guy is like bending over backwards, doing whatever they can. You want that scarcity thing. Would you initiate contact with them in between? Ten or so days later, how would you interact with a girl leading up to the day? Oh, so you're saying in 10 days, don't contact them at all? Say, you get a finite, I see what you're asking now. You get a finite date, like 10 days from now. Yeah, let's go out February 27th, all right? You, obligatory and politely and civilly, as you should as a man or just any respectable human, 2 days, hey, are we still on for the 27th? That's what I would do. But I would, totally ghost them. Unless they're flirty on the internet. Yeah, I mean, you gotta play, they're not robots, dude. They're girls, they're different. One girl's gonna be more flirty. She wants to flirt on the internet, sure, hey, flirty, flirt. Send me some nudie pics, and she sends you the nudie pics. Okay, you keep her. The other one, she's an accountant. The 9 or the 10, you're like, dude, totally, just out of pure intellectual honesty or curiosity, I would just not text her at all and say, hey, we still on for this? And she says, oh no, man. Like, okay, cool, no probs. And then like you go your own way, you never text her again. And then she'll text you later. Because like, what do you mean no problem? I was trying to play hard to get. What is Cappy's tried and true, least asshole-ish way of telling a girl that you don't want to go out again? I've never mastered this. I still feel kind of bad when she's a nice girl overall. Dude, how good looking are you? Because that has never been a problem for me. Most girls never called me up after the second or third date, or first or second date. Rarely did I get to a third. I'm good at front game. I got great front game. I just can't keep them. Although I think a lot of it was I always dated girls that were taller I think they like me on a fundamental level, but they just could go over the height, which I understand. You know, girls gotta like what they gotta like. I just be honest, like, yeah, it's not gonna work out. There's no good way. One girl I was rather rude with. I'm like, yeah, you want to have sex with me? She ended up running upstairs and crying, which I don't care about. The least asshole-ish way. The least asshole-ish way is to do what women do and never call them. Never return their calls or their texts, I guess, nowadays. That's what women do. I've dated enough women that I kind of view them as somewhat as a quasi-adversary, unfortunately. I'll be honest. I don't look at the... You may actually... And this requires individual judgment. There are going to be some actual nice girls, and you should be very honest with them. And you're going to man up. Like, there was one girl I actually met in person and told her to her face that I did not want to date her anymore. Because she deserved it. She was a good person. And I think that's what every real man should do, is if you're going to break up with a girl that you like and you respect, you will do that in person. You won't do it over text. You won't do it over the phone. You won't do it over email. But if you're just talking to girls you don't want to see ever again, dude, play the game that they do. And you don't have any respect of your standard basic bitch, American women where, my name is Tina, I majored in sociology. Oh my goodness, I just love refugees. You can just stop calling them. And if they keep calling you, you could do what they do. You could ignore them. This is equality. This is one of the benefits of equality. I think you should totally avail yourself of it. Not only do women want to act like men and be like men should also want to, in some capacities and regards, act like women. So if a girl really likes you, but you don't like her, you can totally hang her out to dry as far as I'm concerned. And sleep well at night. You seem to have some morality still left in you, which for some women it's required. I think there are some women that deserve it. But if you got your basic bitch, oh my God, Trump is such a dick, I hate America, and I'm oppressed, and standard talking points. You can just ignore them like they did us for decades and not return their calls, and it's perfectly all right until they get the hint. Because I really do believe in treat women as equals. I don't believe in treating women as inferiors or retarded redheaded stepchildren. I think we should treat them as genuine equals so that they can get on par with men. And when it comes to dating, not returning their calls, having them try to figure out not getting rejected, figure out rejection. Oh, I've been rejected. No one ever told me. That's a true path I think very few women walk. Any other points I should be considering? Well, that's where I asked you some questions. Let's go up to those questions that I asked, because I was kind of curious. The logistics. How big of a town do you live in? How far apart are these girls geographically? Like, is one in a town 50 miles away? Are they all within 10 miles of each other? Are these all first dates you got lined up? What's your flake rate, i.e. what % of women cancel at the last moment? How far do you want to take it with these girls before settling down? Finally, do you have a job? And if so, how many hours do you work per week? Because, like, if you're a trust fund baby, you could date 8. I still think it would be a pain in the ass. He lives in a large town in the United States east. He lives on the east side of the Mississippi River. So far, the girls I'm talking to all live within a 35-mile range of myself. All right, good. They're not like within a mile. This is in New York City where they might run into each other. Or 20 to 45 minutes by car. They're also ranging in age from 20 to 38, if that matters. Yeah. These have all been first dates so far. I have one who is blowing me up, wanting to go out with me again soon. That's good. Yeah, you seem to be worried about dating 8 girls. I don't think that's going to come to fruition. I don't think you're going to be dating 8 girls because, dude, at least two, more like 3 or 4 are going to flake. They're just going to disappear. So I won't worry about it. But this one seems like it. The one that keeps blowing up your text. That's good. So, kind of cultivate her a little bit. So far, none have flaked out at the last minute. Oh, that's bad. I mean, it's good, but it's also bad because now you actually will have to juggle 8. Ultimately, I like to form a long-term relationship leading to marriage, not trying to screen that all out on one date, so I'm willing to go out a few times, see if I can potentially be a good match. That's what you mean by how far I want to take it. Yeah, no, I just want to see what, I mean, if you were just like, nah, I want to bang a bunch of chicks. I'm like, well, dude, try and schedule be as diversified as you can possible. But you're going to have to, like, start culling. So if your goal is that, then I'd start looking for women that are not marriage material. So no rank leftists, no student debt, no worthless degrees. It says a lot if the girl likes you. This one blowing up your text. Dude, that says a lot if a girl likes you. That's huge. Because you don't have to work. You don't have to constantly win her over. And then there's something about you she likes. Fuck if I know what it was. There are a couple girls like that in my life where they just like me for me. I'm like, well, okay, I'll take the food. Oh, okay, I'll take the blowjob. All right. So this one seems to be a front runner in my particular instance. So, you know, maybe give her a little bit more time than the others. But yeah, don't worry. I'm pretty sure at your age, their age is 28 to 38, they'll screen themselves out. I'm sure you'll have one that has financial troubles, doesn't pay the IRS, worthless student degree, worthless student loans. Feminine, I mean, I hate to be so simplistic, but, you know, a feminist or a leftist, no, they're anti-family, they're pro-government, they're not pro-individual. You can write those off pretty quick. So, in other words, I think you can cut down after the first or second date. This list of 8 will go down to about 2 rather quickly, if you are looking for long-term dating potential. You are working 40 to 45 hours a week. Yeah, all right. So I think 4 is about the most you can actually handle, but I think if you run in overtime and sacrifice some working out or some hobbies, like, you know, you do a whole week to screen them all, 2 or 3 are going to drop out because they don't show up. Another 2 or 3 are going to drop out because, you know, oh my God, Oprah. I'm like, whew. Yeah, you go watch Ellen. Let me know if you need more info. I'll just take a video and make payment now. Thanks, and I'll keep you anonymous. Yeah, no, you're in a good situation. That's great. It's fun. Enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it. And try and date as many of them as you can. But if your goal is inevitably to get married, you know, date them all as long as you're having fun and enjoying life. But once it becomes a chore, man, and it will become a chore sooner than you think, you'll be like, dude, I don't want to get laid. I just want to sit and play video games. You'll... The list will become very pared down, and all of a sudden, there might be a gal that's marriage material. So, you know, hopefully lucky for you. All right, questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.